Good evening. Welcome to the QCIS channel. On this channel, you get a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. My name is Leon Jones, and tonight I'm going to focus on my TLI 315 third project. Now, this project deals with focus groups. Now, focus groups are basically small groups of 6 to 8 people. Now, what I'm going to go over as I share my screen, I'm going to go ahead and just describe briefly the criteria that I use to develop and recruit my focus group attendees. Basically, for me, because I'm dealing with a product known as Site Manager, it's construction management software, and my company where I work, we are having a lot of problems with Site Manager. It is an archaic software. So what did I use to bring in some of my group attendees? Well, I use a couple of things. Of course, I use a tool called Microsoft Teams, schedule meetings through calendar with Microsoft Outlook. And then once we sit down, we utilize brainstorming. And when we brainstorm, we ask specific questions. Now, what I'm going to do as I continue, I'm going to show you my outline. And right now, I'm just going to give you an overall summary of what I learned as far as SWOT, which stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And what I'm going to do is tell you the strength right now is we do have software. It's not very good, but we do have software. Our weaknesses are this. We're still using a lot of paper, which makes the process very inefficient, and our software is outdated. Now, our opportunities, have two opportunities. We could improve the current software by making it a web-based software, or we can alleviate paper or get something new. Now, I would prefer getting on a web-based subscription. Why? Because many of us already know the software. We just have to work out the kinks, the bugs, to improve the efficiency of the software. Now, that's an opportunity. Now, the real threat is, what are other companies using? Can we compete with other companies when it comes to bidding jobs? Because right now, you don't have good software that could destroy your business strategy. It could be costly. Now, I'm going to give you my hypothesis that I generated from my focus group. That's all on my outline. Now, my steps. Basically, I'm going to look at costs for updates. And this is for the Site Manager software. We'll make sure that the software is more customizing for scheduling, creating change orders, and cost estimates, not by utilizing paper and the software partially, but by implementing everything on a web-based type of system. And then I'm going to go back out and see what my clients need. And once I find out what my clients need, then we're going to come back, go through some R&D, which is research and development, and we'll design, we'll develop. But before we put anything out on the market, we got to create what we call a prototype. Make sure we test that prototype. See where we pass or fail. And then if everything is correct, Then we're going to deploy. Very important that you follow these steps. Now, what I'm going to go into now is my outline. This gave you my criteria. Now, here's my outline. Okay, basically, I'm going to show you what our product is. Again, it's construction management project, or we call it project software. Construction project management software. And my target users are architects, general contractors, specialty contractors, engineers, owners, landscape architects, and interior designers. Now, we get into screening. This is where you ask the questions. This is how you basically develop your group. And this is what we do during our team's meetings. We have any questions about a new product, we're going to ask questions. Like, how often we use the product? Is the product simple? Did we purchase the product within the last 12 months? What brands do we use? Of course, we use AASHTO Site Manager. How important is the product's feature? And then we rank from the least to the, well, from the most to the least important. What are we missing with the product? How can we improve the product? At what price will we consider the product to be? Would it be cheap or expensive? How likely or unlikely would I recommend the product to somebody else? What issues do I need to solve for the product? And what do I like about the product the most or least? And lastly, how would I use the product? And then, what are my competitors out there? Just a few. Autodesk Build, ESUB, Buildertrend, Procore, Fieldwire, CoConstruct. Now, what about a focus group? Since I'm working in the real world here, I basically chose some coworkers, chose their position. I'm not going to call their names out here, but I would assemble these individuals that I know from different industries because we all use this software. And within this focus group, somebody's going to record the notes. And that gets down into my next line here on the outline. I outline my focus group strategy, and it's basically I'm going to be marketing software to different consulting companies. Because remember, we have to bid jobs. Other consulting companies are bidding jobs too. So the individuals that I'm targeting, they have people who are representing these consulting companies. And again, the strategy is to market to new construction project management individuals or architects, engineers, landscape architects, specialized contractors, owners, general contractors. So we have to work with them on the job. And then what about our agenda? You cannot have any meeting without an agenda. And you have to basically stay on topic. Save the questions before we wrap it up. So you have to welcome participants, and participants have to introduce themselves. And we have to let them know why they're there, what the agenda is. And we ask questions. Questions could be dealing with the current state of site manager. And then we structure our questions so we have a free-flowing conversation, not based on feelings. Now, when the questions are being asked, also during the meeting, we have a recorder, and the recorder is taking the notes. Notes are very important because the notes are going to document the meeting. We call them meeting minutes, because when we wrap up the interview, we're going to thank everyone who participated, and then the notes will be typed up and they will be sent through email to each of the participants. Now, if somebody's going to sell me something, I want to know what their positioning map is. First, what are the benefits of construction software? Well, you need to monitor costs, improve operational efficiencies, simplify workflows, reduce time searching for documents, improve collaboration, communication. And then we get down to our positioning map. We have a business strategy and we have a product strategy. So we have emerging, we already have something active, we have our innovators, and we have cutting edge. And then we deal with the advantages. Now, when I'm taking notes or asking questions, what are the advantages? Well, advantages are it's all in one platform. It's big picture. The ability to predict and forecast. Greater collaboration and communication. Intuitive and smart to use. And what are the disadvantages? Well, costly investment might complicate simple products or projects. Big learning curve. When you implement something new, there's going to be a learning curve. And training can be costly as well, because you might have to send individuals off site to get them trained. Privacy issues. Sensitive information out there. You don't want to compromise your organization. You don't want to have hackers get into your system either. So you have to set up some cybersecurity when you implement any type of software. Now, the summary of my position map. And I deal with project management tools, particularly Site Manager. And they're designed to help large and small companies and government agencies plan products or projects, allocate resources, report data, and collaborate. So basically, once you identify your organization's goals, you as a project manager can choose a project tool that is customized to the needs of your project team. Process management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, techniques, and systems to define, visualize, measure, control, report, and improve processes with the goal to meet a goal. So in project management, process management is the use of a repeatable process to improve the outcome of a product. Now, looking at the hypothesis here, what we came up with. Well, we want Site Manager to be web-based. Site Manager needs to incorporate a workflow which team members from the project supervisor, engineer, makes it easy for them to submit and change orders so we can alleviate the use of paper. Updates need to be made at least 3 times a year to work out all the bugs. That's why Windows update more than 3 times a year. I just put 3 times a year as an example. It's going to be more than that. Now, when it's in the initial stage of a project after the launch, there are always uncertainties or ideas to further improve the existing product. So in order to move forward, we'll need to turn the ideas into structured hypothesis where they can be tested prior to production. And that's what I told you when I listed the next steps. Prototype. So Again, you test out the improved software on a pilot project. Again, you test out the improved software on a pilot project. Now, once you got the confidence, the remaining hypotheses are validated. So it's time to develop product. Now, again, when it comes to software issues, what we're working with now, a lot of glitches. And sometimes the glitches won't allow me to add certain files. It takes time to load. Software is not fully customizable. And one feature that really needs to improve is their proposal builder. And why? Because, they've got good formatting. The system or the software has good formatting options and cost codes. However, it's slow, it's glitchy, and you have to use paper. Again, every project isn't the same. So you have to customize it for different products and projects. Now I'm dealing with SiteManager software. And the system, particularly in construction, it's more suited for cost plus projects. So let me give you an example. E&B bids jobs on a fixed price. So we found a few of the features less useful. So what I'm talking about is basically half the features. Now, as an inspector, won't even help us solve math problems. It's supposed to. But again, it's archaic. It's only been around for 15 years. And the state where we get SiteManager from, they don't want to put in the money right now. However, they wanted to work efficiently and effectively and minimize production costs. They're going to have to improve it by a web-based system or just scrapping SiteManager and starting off with something new. It's going to be a headache. We know that. But we need to increase production. Because as a consultant company, we're competing with other consultant companies for jobs. And again, if you're a small company, some of this project management software can be costly, especially if you're not doing big products. A product, a project, they're the same to me because a product is still a project. But in the end, when it comes to any type of software, you have to find out what software is good for you and why you're using it. Because every company, when it comes to construction, they do different types of projects. So again, going over my criteria. My criteria was to schedule a meeting via Microsoft Teams, ask probing questions or screen them, and then I just presented my outline to you. My strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And basically, we have software. Software is outdated. That's the weakness. The opportunity is to create current software by making it web-based or try something new. And our threat, what are other construction companies or consultants using? Because we're in competition with them. Again, when it comes to steps, look at cost for updates, make sure software is more customizing for scheduling, creating change orders and estimates, address client needs, do a little R&D, design, create a prototype, test it out, find out where the issues are, and then deploy it. And when you deploy brand new software or even improved software, you're still going to have to update it. And again, what I gave you, this is my hypothesis with these 12 issues, could be more. But again, when it comes to any new product, you have to ask your client what you need. And then you have to take notes when you have a focus group meeting. First, you have to know how to recruit members. Make sure you get an email, phone number, every member. Now, remember, a focus group is only 6 to 8 people. Get them from different areas of your industry, just like I did. Ask those questions. Take good notes. And then once you take good notes, you submit them to all the participants. And again, you're having a focus group meeting. Set the ground rules. Make sure everybody stays on topic. Also, make sure everybody reports on time. Because new products are being created every day. What I'm putting out here is, how do we improve Site Manager? Now, again, we don't like it, but we have to use it for DOT projects. Could be improved. But we have to convince the state to put up the money. And then we as consultants, many of us, certainly we have Autodesk and other types of softwares. But Site Manager, if you want DOT products, that's what everybody's using. And that's why I gave you my strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's all about brainstorming with a focus group. And that concludes this presentation, Project 3. If you like what I just presented, definitely you can like this video, subscribe. I'm also post this video on my LinkedIn page. And once again, thank you for taking the time to view this information. And I'll be producing more videos outside this video, but this is for a project number 3 in my new product development course. My name is Leon Jones, and thank you for viewing this video and listening.